right, so legally, how does this actually work now? This fallout from the former Eskom CEO with Annika Larsen. The ANC, to remind you, has given the former CEO 7 days to respond, or they'll file criminal charges against him. So luckily, we've got very clever people in the world, one of them kind enough to join me, Mpumelelo Zikalala, legal expert. Hello to you, Mpumelelo. Morning. I hope you're still with me, that your picture isn't frozen. Let's start there. Can the ANC lay charges against the former CEO of Eskom? Good morning.
Good morning to you, and also good morning to your listeners. Yes, they can. Let's remember we have a law called the Prevention and Combating of Corrupt Activities Act, which is PRECA. Under Section 34, it places an obligation on people that's in position of power, like the former CEO, Mr. Ruyter, to say that if there are instances in which there's corruption, there's any criminal activity that has taken place, especially when it comes to amounts which are over 100,000 rands, we place a duty on you to go and report it to the police. But let's use the words which are stated in that particular act. It says that you must inform or you must be reported to any police official. So you don't have to open a case. It's just the reporting which is important. But then there are regulations that then says the police have an obligation to make sure that they properly report an open case and they're able to investigate this particular matter. So it's a two-way approach. So when the ANC says we are going to lay a charge for failing to comply with Section 34, I think they must go further in terms of saying, let's also look at whether the police also complied with their side of the deed. Let's also look at whether there are any ministers within the realm of the ANC that ought to have known that have decided not to participate in this particular process. Also, they fall in this particular category. So it may be a case of saying that we want to bring law and order to Mr. Ruyter, but it must also include all the other individuals that are there. Let's remember, Mr. Ruyter was not operating alone, or did not head Eskom without a board, without a minister, without a person who had informed earlier. And if you listen to the famous interview that you've referred to, around about 25 minutes, it does state, I was in a boardroom with generals. Now, that's a high-ranking police official, and that's part of compliance on his part in terms of saying, I've called them to this interview to inform them of the route that have found at Eskom. So I've complied with my end of the deal. The mere fact that they don't investigate this type of matters is something in which the minister or the parliament or audit committees or anyone who is in a position of being the watchdog when it comes to this particular process ought to have asked and said, after being given such crucial information, what have you done to continue with this information?
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to ask you, because there seems to be a bit of confusion around this legally. So the information that Andre de Ruyter and Mpumelelo has given out, is that not enough for the police to open up a case? Is that not enough for the various ministers involved, or even the president himself or the board of Eskom? Is that not enough for one of them to pick this up and go and lay charges or open up a criminal matter? Or does it have to be Andre de Ruyter that has to lay charges at a police station? Surely there's another way of doing this, or have I got it wrong?
It has to be Mr. Andre de Ruyter.